Wait, where's the... Gosh dang it. There we go. What's up, Based? What's poppin'? Where should I put it? There we go. Scent of the day was RDZ Perfumes El Coqui. Scent of the day will be Kajal Lamar. Ooh. Can't argue with that. Nice banger, Joel. Good to see you, buddy. What was my scent of the day? Oh, Vetiver Sensual. I left this at my mom's house. It's been gone for like 2 weeks. So scent of the day, had to throw that back on. Oof, so nice. So very nice. I was missing it, dude. I hadn't worn it for like 3 weeks. I was like, where the heck is my Vetiver Sensual? And then I got back from LA and I couldn't find it. I was like, what the heck? Just so happened. I said, Mom, when I was borrowing the truck, did I leave my fragrance in the console? Oh, I don't know, honey. She wound up finding it. I was super grateful that she found that. You guys ever heard of this? Pocari Sweat? You guys ever heard of this? Yeah, my mom said it was from like Japan or something. It's just like a hydration drink. What y'all got for me, man? We got the fragrances finally back on the shelf. We're back from LA. Road to 2K subs. We are almost at 2K, so if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. I'm going crazy this week. 3 episodes a day being posted. Is that an Arizona water brand? No, it's actually Japanese. Here, I'll show you guys again. Pocari Sweat. My guess is it's like basically like a white Gatorade. Can't believe it has 200 grams in it, but they put a bunch of, stuff in it. It's not good for you. 29 grams of sugar is never good for you. Do you like Jean Paul Gaultier fragrances? I like Le Male Elixir. Everything else I'm not a fan of. But what's great today is you don't have to spend $80 to $120 on Jean Paul Gaultier anymore. You have Cod Lodge Island, which is a great clone of Le Beau. You have Kingdom and Lionheart for Le Male Elixir. I think there's even a Paradise Garden clone that came out in the 4th quarter of 2024. And then you have Ultra Male. So you have Lattafa Ram Silver, 9 p.m. You have a ton of Ultra Male clones. So now you have clones of every single Jean Paul Gaultier for less than $30. You could basically pay $120 and get a very nice 10 out of 10 clone of every Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance now. But me personally, I don't wear Jean Paul Gaultier. Le Male Elixir is pretty nice, but you don't really have to get Le Male Elixir these days because you can just get Kingdom or Lionheart and call it a day. What lasts longer, parfum or cologne? It's a weird question. It depends. Generally speaking, parfum has the least amount of performance. Because there's actually a lot of reasons. But cologne is not a concentration. If you're referring to eau de cologne, 99% of the fragrances you look at will not be eau de colognes. You know, you have eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum, extrait, elixir, absolute, all that nonsense. Really, after parfum, it really doesn't matter. What's the best clone for Le Beau? Khadlag Island. Khadlag, Khadlag Island. And it's like a 9.5 out of 10 closeness. I mean, it's really good. I have a sample of it over there. I just reviewed it. Khadlag Island is a great Le Beau clone. Then you have Kingdom and Lionheart for Le Male Elixir. You have 9 p.m. for or Lattafa Ram Silver for Ultramale. And then I think there's a Paradise Garden clone as well. Somebody put it in the chat if you remember the name of it. Have you smelled Toy Boy of Machino? Yeah, a lot of people love it. You know, if you look at my collection now, I'm kind of past Toy Boy. But Toy Boy is a great fragrance. A lot of people love it. What's the best clone for Le Beau? Already told you. Khadlag Island. Smelled Jean Paul Gaultier fragrance today. Wasn't a fan of it, but the Le Male Elixir is the best. But you might be better off getting Hawass Elixir. Hawass Elixir is not the best Le Male Elixir clone. That's a Le Male Elixir with a twist. If you want the best Le Male Elixir clone, you're better off going with Kingdom. Or Lionheart, really. I personally think a better fragrance than Le Male Elixir, but is really freaking close to Le Male Elixir, but just smoother and better. Halloween Man Shot. Smells exactly like Le Male Elixir. And for about 30 bucks, you can get 120, sometimes even 200 ml for like 30, 40 bucks. And it's not a clone. It is its own fragrance, but very sexy. But, you know, Kingdom and Lionheart are great Le Male Elixir clones as well. So I would still get those over original Le Male Elixir. Joe Malone is mostly eau de cologne. They're not worth it. Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of great Joe Malones. I mean, just because it's eau de cologne doesn't mean the concentration is bad, to be honest with you. I know, you know, the whole eau de parfum and conversation about all that is really nonsense. I mean, this is an eau de toilette. Versace Eros eau de toilette. This will outlast 90% of all designer fragrances you have. You know, it's a 10, 12 hour longevity fragrance. And it's an eau de toilette, bottom of the shelf. So eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum doesn't really matter because it depends on what raw materials are used to make that fragrance. There's a lot of eau de toilettes and I mean, I have an eau de cologne. Let's see. One of my giveaway fragrances, once we hit 2K subs, which is going to be no later than the end of this week. Bourbon, this is called Bourbon Cure. It's eau de cologne, smoked vetiver, cedar, and spiked ginger. You know, reminiscent of like an imagination type of fragrance. It's an eau de cologne, and this is 8 hours plus. So you can't always let eau de cologne or eau de toilette or parfum and stuff like that throw you off. They're not all created equal. I've got Club de Nuit Intense Man eau de toilettes that I'm going to be giving away. I have tons of them. I'm going to be giving away sticks of Club de Nuit Intense Man eau de toilettes. They last 12 hours plus. We could be giving away 10 mLs. I've got like 10 of them. These are 10-hour plus fragrances, eau de toilette. So, you know, the concentration is not always defined by just the phrase. Everyone, please like the stream. Absolutely. I don't have any Hawass. What should be my first Hawass? I have 9 p.m., so I don't want any Hawasses too similar to it. I'm not a big fan of Hawass, dude. In fact, I'm giving away a fresh bottle of original Hawass for him once we hit 2K subs this week. So Sign up for that giveaway. You might win a free bottle of Hawas, and it's pretty full, you know. It's only been sprayed like 5-6 times. I'm not a big fan of Hawas. I just think there's too many fragrances that smell like it but are better. But I mean, generally speaking, most people who love Hawas love a lot of them. Hawas Ice. I think Hawas Ice is more interesting, therefore better than original Hawas, even though original Hawas is kind of like Nautica Voyage, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Versace Pour Homme. It's kind of got that type of flavor to it. Invictus Aqua. But Ice is generally better than original, even though original is the most purchased fragrance. People love Elixir, and people love the other one that was created as well. I just think for the $30 price point, there's so many other fragrances that beat out the DNA those are chasing, but that's just my opinion. I think if you're just getting into Hawas, like fresh, get Hawas Ice. You really can't lose. I think Sillage really loves Hawas Elixir. I'm pretty sure that's his favorite. Lamal Elixir clone. Hey man, if you want Lamal Elixir, you should always be getting Kingdom or Lionheart. Point blank period. Hawas Elixir is a Lamal Elixir twist. It's a great fragrance, but it's a Lamal Elixir twist. Thoughts on By the Fire? Dulce, did you mean By the Fireplace? Let me know. What's up, Ocean? Good to see you, buddy. Have you smelled Eros Najim? I have it on the way, but I haven't smelled it. UAE exclusive. I have not. I have not. Dr. Beast, what up? Park, what's up? What heart notes it got? That's a weird question. It's a weird question. I agree, but Joe Malone are almost $200 for EDC, and they generally do not last long. Dan, that's a stretch, man, because I've smelled almost the entire Joe Malone line, and I think you're judging a couple of fragrances that you've experienced, because there's no way that's your opinion on the longevity if you smell the entire line. In fact, a lot of the line, if not more than half the line, has incredible performance. So I don't know which couple of fragrances you ran into and then judged them all because they say eau de cologne. But yeah, bro, longevity on Joe Malone is circumstantial based off the profile it's going for, you know? So if it's a lighter, fresher fragrance, generally it's going to perform super weak. And that's with everything. Eau de toilette, eau de parfum, you know, there's buttloads of eau de parfum concentrations that because they're light citrus on woods type fragrances or citrus aquatics or stuff like that, they perform weak. So I guarantee you, I could show you a handful of Joe Malones that perform excellent. And Joe Malone has so many fragrances that, I mean, I think it's like over 100 fragrances in the line. So that's a big blanket statement. Now, if you want to say, hey, you know, I'm hesitant towards getting a light performing fragrance for $200, that I can totally understand. But, you know, if you aren't willing to pay $200 for a lighter fragrance that performs less than 6 hours of longevity, then that pretty much cuts out like 60% of the niche market, which is fine. But I mean, that's a totally valid reason. I would feel the same way. You know, would I spend $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 on a fragrance that lasts 4 hours? It would have to be incredible. You know, I would have to be able to say in my mind, I don't mind travel spraying it because this smells incredible. And I do have fragrances like that are weak performers, but have such an incredible DNA. I would buy them every single time. Good job, Ocean, getting those compliments on some Versace. That's beautiful. How can we enter the giveaway? I'm going to have a bunch of creative ways to enter the giveaway, and this is how it's going to go. So I'm starting to collect fragrances. Matter of fact, a lot of fragrances on my shelf I'm going to be giving away. I'm going to be giving away Imagination clones. I'm going to be giving away old vintage fragrances. I'm going to be giving away brand new fragrances, 150 mLs. For instance, this is Banana Republic Linen Vetiver. I got a big... Oh, shoot. I got a big box of fragrances. Look, we got a Sod in there. We've got L'Immensité, Hawas, 9 p.m. And then we've got, like, decants galore. Like, for instance, I've got, like, limited edition Parfum from Club de Nuit, Clive Christian, Dossier... I'll be giving away some niche fragrances like Vetiver Sensual. I'll be giving away some Vetiver Sensual. I've got a ton of fragrances. I've got like over 30 fragrances in my giveaway box right now. And so once I hit 2K at the end of this week, I will be announcing the ultimate Wheel of Fragrance giveaway. And so there's going to be creative ways to enter the wheel. And the way I'm going to do the giveaway is so this way I'm going to do it. I'm going to have one guy get 5 prizes, which is 5 fragrances. Then I'm going to have like 9 people get a fragrance. And so I'm going to have 10 winners for this giveaway. So it's going to be awesome because 10 people get to win. I didn't want to have one person win all of it because that's not exciting. That's not going to get you, rock hard. You know what I'm saying? So this giveaway is going to be sick because there's going to be 10 winners, which means 10 fragrances minimum. And then I'm going to have one lucky winner get 5 fragrances. And we're going to send them out. So I'm bundling up the prize pool, and each time you are able to enter, you will get on the Wheel of Fragrance. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to spin the wheel and pick out 10 winners. And the last winner will be the biggest winner. Now, what's cool about this is last giveaway, I think I had 20 entries. So think about it like this. If I have 20, now that was when my channel was much smaller. But if you have 20 entries into my giveaway, that means half the people win. So I'm guessing with my channel growth at this point, there could be anywhere between 20 to 50 people in. But that means you still have a 1 in 5 chance of winning, and 1 in 5 chance at 50, a 2 in 10 chance at 40. You have like a 40% chance of winning if there's 30. You have a 50% chance of winning if there's 20. People might just be dumb and not sign up, and you could just autopilot win. You might, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that's different though is you can't win twice. I will be drawing 10 names. The first 9 people will get a fragrance. The last person will get the 5 fragrances, including brand new box stuff. And it's going to be really dope. I'll let you guys know how to enter at the end of this week as soon as we hit 2K. So if you're new to the stream, definitely subscribe because I think we're at 1,940 subs. So we're like 60 away. And I normally get like 20,000 views on my videos a week. So I'm, put it this way, I'm dropping three pieces of content every single day until the end of the week. And I know I'm going to hit 2K at the end of the week minimum. So if we hit it sooner, I'll be announcing how to enter sooner. Tried Creed Aventus not too long ago, and I was very disappointed with the longevity and projection after the dry down. But I tried Mont Blanc Explorer, which was cloning Creed, and it's way better than Creed. Based, you have some strong opinions, and I respect them because at least they come with experience. But I will tell you, Creed Aventus, from a performance standpoint, whether it's weak in performance or not, is significantly better fragrance than Mont Blanc Explorer. The reason Mont Blanc is able to achieve higher performance is because they use a massive amount of synthetics. However, with that being said, even if you went with let's see. Even if you went with, let's say, dang, am I missing a fragrance? Even if you went with something like this, Armaf Per Show 1 for 40 bucks. This annihilates Mont Blanc Explorer. Aventus Absolute, the real Creed Aventus Absolute, annihilates Mont Blanc Explorer. Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum and the new Parfum annihilate Mont Blanc Explorer, and they're the exact same price as it with 10 to 12 hours of longevity. So I know how it can feel because you're like, man, I tried the Creed and then I found Mont Blanc Explorer for like 20 bucks and it smells like it and I love it. Great, cool. But it doesn't smell like Creed Aventus. I mean, it's somewhere in the 80% range, but it is not Creed Aventus by any stretch of the imagination. If you want Aventus Absolute, Per Show is the best thing on the market right now, and it's 40 bucks. It's the cheapest you're going to find it. It's the closest thing. It's like 90, 95, 96% close to Aventus Absolute. But even with that being said, the new limited edition Parfum and Parfum, or even Off Non Supremacy Collector's Edition, are infinitely better than Mont Blanc Explorer. So enjoy your Explorer. When you run out of that juice, try Club de Nuit Intense Limited Edition Parfum, or Armand Peugeot. I prefer Peugeot over everything. And you will get a significantly better, closer, and massive performance upgrade from Mont Blanc Explorer. Thank you, Joel, for giving them a power ranking. How close is Liquid Brune to Altair? Very close. Very close with a great amount of performance. I'm not a fan of Altair, but everybody gets Liquid Brune. Everybody. It's a massive seller. A lot of people love it. That's not my tea, but I'm not going to down the fragrance just because it's not my tea. A lot of people love it. They typically, on average, people say Altair is about a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10 clone. They don't really care that it lacks 5 or 10% closeness because it's got incredible performance and it's just a good smelling fragrance. And yeah, so Liquid Brune is probably one of the closest things to Altair outside of some of the inspiration houses. 11 minutes late, still on time. At center of the day, Michael Malone, 139 Spice. What up, Kicks? Yak Mob. All of the replica line have terrible performance. I can actually 100% agree. I'm almost done with my Discovery set from Replica. I think I have 2 fragrances left to review, and all of them have terrible performance. The highest performers are By the Fireplace, Jazz Club, and maybe Woodstock. Everything else is trash. Even the good performing ones shouldn't be $80 to $100, point blank period. With that being said, Woodstock, Jazz Club, and By the Fireplace have incredible clones that are $30. They're actually better than the originals. So my gripe with Replica is not that they have bad fragrances. My gripe is that they are glorified Bath & Body Works fragrances. A lot of their DNAs smell like somebody used to work at Bath & Body Works and then try to make a fragrance line. It's the performance and it's the DNA style. It's not $80 to $100 fragrances. They're basically like eau de colognes that smell slightly better than Bath & Body Works. There should never be a $80 to $100 fragrance from that house. Thankfully, all their best fragrances have $20, $30 clones. For instance, a lot of people don't know this, but even though people say Lattafa Liam Gray, which is a Grease Charnel, BDK Grease Charnel clone, which is like 9 out of 10 close, this actually clones Jazz Club quite perfectly. So you can get this if you want Jazz Club, and you will smell like not only BDK Grease Charnel, but you'll also smell like Jazz Club. Don't worry, guys. I'll catch up on the chat. It's going to be a hot night tonight because it's been a while since I've been live. I used to work at a Nordstrom, and I don't like the entire line. My favorite one is Velvet Rose and Oud. Joe Malone's main clientele were older ladies because they liked how light they were. And that's a valid point. I mean, that's why a lot of people love Chanel Exclusive line. Now, I think Chanel Exclusive line is a bit better in performance than Joe Malone because you're dealing with eau de toilettes and eau de parfums. But they are very light and airy. Me and Kix were just in LA at the Ex Nihilo boutique, and I was quite surprised how light their fragrances were, even their extraits. However, there's kind of 2 things you have to factor in. One is ingredients from an accord standpoint. When fragrance houses move towards lighter fragrances that I like to say float on the skin, they don't wear the skin, they're just going to be lighter. And the second aspect of it is raw materials. I think, in my experience, when you're working with real raw materials and little to no synthetics, you will naturally lose performance. Synthetics bond in a certain way to elevate raw materials and carry raw materials. And houses that choose to make more authentic raw material only fragrances have to pay more to move the oil concentration of those raw materials into such a high concentration that they can push. And even when they do that, you still might only get 6 to 8 hours of performance when you're dealing with lighter ingredients like citruses and lighter florals. Now, when you start dealing with heavier florals and tobaccos and ouds and vanillas and stuff like that, yeah, you can carry a fragrance and still go natural. But on the fresher fragrances, on the fragrances that float on skin, you know, it's going to be harder to achieve that without really high grade synthetics. So you have to think about all those things. And I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is how good is the fragrance? If the fragrance is spectacular, you shouldn't care. You really shouldn't care. If a fragrance speaks to you, you're like, linen vetiver speaks to me, but it only lasts 3 hours. Dang. Are you not going to buy it? Even with this 30 ml, I can just spray myself 20 times with it and just carry it in my pocket. Do you really I don't know if the longevity conversation is really valid. To me personally, I get that. I feel like longevity is more of a even infinitely more of a concern to people that don't really have a lot of fragrances, because it's like they don't have a lot of fragrances. They don't really want to spend a lot of money on fragrances. So they want fragrances that have great performance so they can just go to their shelf with their little 10 or less fragrances, load up for the day, and then just go out. But if you have a collection like this size, or even something like 20 fragrances or more, I feel like you begin to have less of a care about longevity and more just like, can I just find a great fragrance? Because if I can just find a great fragrance, I don't care how many times I got to apply it. Now, there's other creative ways to boost projection on a fragrance. Good hygiene, lotion, oils, comboing, putting two different fragrances together. There's a lot of creative ways to give your fragrances push. And so I have the projection, sillage, and longevity conversation with people, but I talk about it in a lot of different ways that most people don't talk about it. And my approach is a lot different because I'm trying to bring a lot more information to the table, because I feel like the longevity and projection conversation is very flat and it's uninformed. You guys are just missing out on a lot of great fragrances because you're looking for the wrong things. Okay, let's catch up. No matter how much people say Eros is too basic, but it works so well for me and gets me compliments. Eros is one of the highest complimented designer fragrances in the world. Don't listen to anybody's opinion about Eros. Just keep wearing it and keep getting compliments. I just bought a Mont Blanc Legend. What do you think? Thumbs up. What makes designers smell like designers? Designers. I'm only speaking about Joe Malone's performance just for the price. Understandable. I got so many free perfumes while working at Nordstrom, and longest lasting fragrance I got was Haltane by Parfums de Marly. Haltane's a pretty good laster. Anyone try Bad Boy Le Parfum? Been doing numbers for me. It's a really good fragrance. I have tried it. I do have it. Hoping I win the Imagination clone because it's genuinely one of the best freshies ever. Absolutely. I think I might be giving away 2 Imagination clones. So we'll see. If a lot of people are requesting it, I might just take my 120 ml and start busting down 10 mLs of it so I can give it away to like 10 people. SB, what up, homie? What's poppin', NYC? What's poppin', Profit? Even if I don't win, you are so nice to give these away. Trust me, you have a higher chance of winning this giveaway this weekend than anyone else's giveaway. Trust me, you want to sign up. When you hear me do my giveaway announcement, it'll be so easy to sign up, so easy to enter, and such a high percentage of a chance to win. It's going to be ridiculous. Again, I just started collecting the prizes for it. Brand new box here. We got a bunch of fragrances in here. We got a bunch of decants. We got a bunch of full bottles. All these are full bottles. A bunch of travel sprays. Just tons of fragrances. And I'm still going to be giving away a lot from this rack right here as well. You look at these. There's a lot of bangers in here. So don't worry, guys. I'm going to have you guys covered. I'm going to make sure that this is the best giveaway in FragCom, and it won't be the last. I promise you. I'm trying to change the game in FragCom. I'm trying to do stuff no one does. And when I throw a giveaway, my perspective is people don't like giveaways because there's just one winner. It's like you have a guy like JenSense. We have like 500,000 subs, and he's doing a giveaway to one winner. You're not going to sign up for that. 500,000 people, you got a 1 in 500,000 chance of winning? That makes no sense. Why even have the giveaway? Whereas I have 2,000 subs, and I rarely have more than 50 people sign up. So you have between a 20 and 60% chance of winning, depending on how many people sign up. That's incredible odds. We're going to have 10 winners. 10 winners. So what's great about my channel is most of the people view my shorts and my lives, and I'm going to do the giveaway announcement on my long form content, which rarely gets between 50 to like 300 views. So I'm going to be honest with you. Not a lot of people are going to sign up for the giveaway. And the reason I'm putting it on my long form video is because people that are truly my followers, like I have like 2,000 subs, but I probably have like 75 super committed followers. I know that those people watch my videos every day they drop. And that's where I want the giveaways to go to. My actual supporters. The fact that I have 2,000 subs means nothing. Those are just people that are interested in fragrance, cool, but they're not dedicated to the movement of what I got going. There are people that are locked into everything I drop. And so if you're watching the long form video, I guarantee you will be a very small percentage of people who sign up for this giveaway. And I guarantee you'll probably have about a 30 to 50% chance of winning. And it's going to be incredible. So just stay tuned. Trust me when I say you're going to want to sign up for this giveaway. Scent of the day, Bald of Freak, aka Afro Retro clone from. Oh, okay, you got a clone of Bald of Freak. Okay, I see you. I see you. Shout outs to my Vibrant Vetiver Delights. Combo it with Encre Noir Sport if you want real Bald of Freak. Safe blind buys for high quality, high performing scents. Versace Eros EDT, 100%. I have a 2024 batch of Aventus. That stuff lasts all day for me. Exactly. What up, Faison? We got to get my homeboy to 2K. That is facts. You ain't lied yet. Road to 2K. I will get there. I promise you. If you're new watching this stream tonight, guys, please consider following. I drop content every single day, and I've been dropping content every single day for almost a year now. So if you like fragrance and you want somebody that talks about everything in fragrance and does game shows and makes it fun and is educational and dedicated to the passion, consider giving me a sub. You can always unsubscribe if I lied to you. Can you please talk a little about white Badial Oud? This is not Badial Oud. A lot of people think that I carry Badial Oud, but I do not have a particular interest for creme brulee, which is what oud for Badial Oud's, not Sublime, Badial Oud. Which one is the white one? Honor and Glory. I don't like Honor and Glory. It's too feminine for me. I don't want to smell like creme brulee. I'm 6'2". I was going to say 210. I was 233 last year. We're now at 200 pounds. So we dropped 33 pounds. So I'm 6'2", 200 pounds. That's still pretty big. I'm a pretty big guy. I don't want to smell like creme brulee. This is Glorious Oud Royal Blanc from French Avenue. Extrait de Parfum. A 10 out of 10 clone of Initio's Musk Therapy. My boy Kix Griffey in the chat, I brought this to him to take some more decant from it. He loves this stuff. This is an incredible musk white floral, slightly, I don't want to say slightly sweet. It's a good amount of sweetness. It's like a 5 out of 10 sweetness. But this annihilates Honor and Glory. But Honor and Glory is chasing a different fragrance. This is a 10 out of 10 clone of Musk Therapy from Initio with incredible 8 hours plus performance, great sillage, and great projection. This will be 2024's top 10 clones of the year. So when I drop that video, this will be in it. Best purchase of all. I think you can get it for like 30 bucks on Triple Traders. I think that's the only place you can get it currently, which is quite shocking. Can you please talk a little bit? Okay, I already did that. I have EDP replica across sands and flying, which are both discontinued. Those are good though. They need to come back with more of the EDPs. Understandable. Hawass Ice is the best. I don't know if Hawass Ice is the best, but if you're somebody who doesn't carry Hawass at all and you're just getting into Hawass, you will love Hawass Ice. The other ones are kind of a risk because they're more distinct scents. Hawass Ice you can wear year-round, dumb reach, and all that good stuff, and it beats the original Hawass, which is another year-round fragrance. Once you start going into black and elixir and all that stuff, then you start going into very particular DNAs, so you have a lighter chance of loving it. Hawass Ice is the best first fragrance from Rasasi to get. SB, I will throw in a bottle of 60 ml Zaharoff, brand new, choice of the grand winner of whatever is for sale. Come on, 2K. Hey, I'm going to screenshot that so I remember that. So, guys, just so you know, Kix is throwing a 60 ml in of brand new Zaharoff, which is incredible. That is a very generous offer. So, like I was telling you guys before, at the end of the week, when I do the announcement video, there will be 10 winners. 9 winners will get 1 fragrance. The 10th winner will get 5 fragrances. And now it's going to be 6 due to Kix's contribution. So the winner, the grand prize winner, will get 6 fragrances. Would Dior Homme 2020 work for a 14-year-old? No. You're Ocean, you're better off getting the brand new Dior Homme Parfum 2025 edition. It might be 2024 edition. Whatever's the latest brand new release of Dior Homme Parfum, that one will work on a 14-year-old. But Dior Homme Intense is not really a 14-year-old fragrance. It's yeah, you just have to trust me on this. I would love to get into some Dior, but I also don't want to smell like an older man. Yeah, get Dior Homme Parfum. Trust me, you won't smell old at all. I've never seen any of your content, but what's your current top 5? I don't have a top 5. I mean, look at my fragrance collection, dude. It's impossible to get a top 5. My scent of the day today is Mancera Vetiver Sensual. I finally found my bottle. It was in my mom's truck. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. Because for those of y'all who've been following me, I just bought a new car. So when I was car searching, I sold my old car and I didn't have a car for a while. And so my mom let me borrow her truck while I was taking a week or two to figure out what my new car would be. And when I bought my new car, I forgot to take this out of the console of the truck. So I haven't had this fragrance for like 3 weeks. Threw it on today and man, oh my gosh. Top 2 best Manceras. Top 3. But yeah, man, I wear a new fragrance every single day. So it's hard to make a top 5. But all these fragrances here are my babies. I can tell you a great reason to buy all of these. Any fluff has been trimmed. Everything on here is bangers. Latest addition to the collection, Royal Oud. Among many others. Like right now, you guys heard me talking. We've got our Javois out. I'm going through Javois right now. I think this is the best discovery set. Oh, shoot. Javois makes the best fragrances, hands down. Best sample kit I've ever purchased in life. I recommend anybody who wants to have an experience with fragrance they've never had before. You think you've smelled niche, you've gone to Neiman Marcus, you have a couple of great bottles, you know, you've worn some Tom Ford, some Mancera, some Mind Games, some Creed, some Bond Number 9, some freaking Frederick Malle, some Initio, some Roja. Cool story, bro. No. Get the Javois Discovery sample set that comes with 16 2mls, and I promise you, every single fragrance you smell will will transport, there you go, transport you to another dimension. Insane raw materials, insanely complex fragrances that are so beautiful. They're not, a lot of times when you deal with complexity, you get fragrances where you're just like, what the heck were you going for? No, these make all the sense in the world. They come with, do I have it? They come with playing cards. I've talked about this before, guys, but I really hope to go to a Javoy house this year. Every fragrance comes with playing cards. And the playing cards have the fragrances in them. Look at these bottles. They're like different scenes and vibes, right? And then look what's on the back. Every one of the fragrances, the fragrance pyramid for each fragrance. Does anything look uninteresting here? Look at this. Guys, are you not getting a hard on like me right now? Just looking at them, you're like, oh my gosh. So anyway, long story short, guys, every fragrance comes with a playing card that breaks down the pyramid, and you can tell they know they're the ish, bro, because look, it's like every fragrance is individually boxed, right? Even the testers have, or even the samples have better atomizers than 90% of the fragrances you try. 16 2mLs. You will be sitting in your chair just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just trust me. $65 for that sample kit, and it is the best $65 I've ever spent in my life. It has been the most enlightening, inspirational sample set I've ever tried. Out of the 16 fragrances I've gone through, I would probably buy 10 of the 16 bottles, and the other 6, the only reason I wouldn't purchase them is because they're more feminine leaning, but they're incredible. Like, I would buy them for my wife. Insane. Okay, let me catch up. Hello, is Jazz Club or By the Fireplace sale for office in winter? No. No. By the Fireplace and Jazz Club are a little too loud in their projection to be office fragrances. SB, any advice on being consistent and getting bigger with fragrance content? Yes. Go live as many times as possible. Then do shorts as many as possible. Do long form content the least. As long as you post once a week, long form video, you're fine. YouTube, for people who are under 5K followers, rewards lives the most, then rewards shorts the second most, and long form content third most. Thoughts on Nitro White? It's a good fragrance. I think it's a bit redundant in the marketplace right now to a lot of other fragrances, but Nitro White is definitely, you're not going to be mad that you bought the fragrance, but it's one of those fragrances you're going to wear often for a couple months and then just get bored of it. Oh, what's up, Waffle? Good to see you, buddy. Jigga, what's up? What's the most realistic, naturally floral fragrance? That's a weird question because naturally floral is kind of a meaningless phrase. Like, what floral? You know what I'm saying? If you're like, yo, what smells like tuberose? What smells like jasmine? What smells like lily of the valley? I could point to a fragrance, but just saying what smells naturally floral, I mean, 90% of the fragrances I have that are floral smell naturally floral. Yo, SB, where do you get your furniture from? Are you an IKEA guy? The only thing IKEA in, like, you guys are in my office right now. So the only thing IKEA is my desk, and that's because I couldn't find, I had to go there and get like the really long one. And so it's like 2 IKEA desks. That's probably the only piece of IKEA furniture I own. Like even this, my industrial shelf isn't really IKEA. And that definitely is not IKEA. And none of the furniture in my house is IKEA. I was on an IKEA binge in college, but as wonderful it is to get cheap furniture, it's equally as annoying to make it last. Let's see. Do you have a Kismet Magic? I don't like Kismet Magic, so I'm not a fan. I love Oud so much, but people say I shouldn't wear it because I'm too young. Sounds like an internal conflict to me. What's the highest temperature you think someone can pull off Altair? 70 degrees? And even at 70 degrees, it better be nighttime. You should be wearing Altair in the coldest weather possible if you really want it to go. What would you recommend for a pleasant, smoky leather frag? Smoke and leather? Isn't there a fragrance called Leather and Smoke? That's phenomenal. Look up Leather and Smoke. I think that's an actual fragrance that's phenomenal. Try that. Gensense and TLTG are overrated. I'm here to support more creators who aren't as huge because you're honest and not sponsored necessarily. Hey man, listen, I really appreciate that. Gensense and TLTG are pretty genuine people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't watch their content a lot, but I'm always tapped in, seeing what they're doing from an analytics standpoint. They just appeal to certain markets, and as their channels grow, they follow different things, and I don't think that that's a disingenuine thing. It's like if you have a car brand and the industry starts changing and the needs start changing and you have to start thinking about the mass population of people driving your cars and stuff, and therefore you need to tailor your cars into certain things. That's an actual thing, and it's actually smart to be that way. I don't think being popular means being less cool. I think if you find that somebody's growing and changing in a way that you don't like, I wouldn't really chalk that up to them selling out. I would chalk that up to they're different than you. They're different than you. What you thought you fell in love with, you only fell in love with a part of them. And as they grew and changed, you fell out of love because you only liked them for something specific. I'll give you a great example. I'm shocked at how like 90% of my friends growing up in high school into college, I would have told you 80% of my friends were best friends. These are people I hung out with every single day, whether I was partying, going to school, chilling at the crib, out at a hookah bar, wherever, playing sports, working out. A lot of my friends I hung out with all the time because all I had was time. But when I left college and now I'm living in an apartment by myself and I'm not partying and I'm not doing all the social events, I found that like literally 80% of my friendship circle fell out. In fact, I did an incredible experiment. I took my phone, which at the time had like 300 to 400 phone numbers in it, and I said, I'm deleting all my phone numbers. And I'm in 1 year, anybody that calls me back, I'm gonna re-add their number to my phone. And at the end of the year, I had like 40 numbers in my phone. And I was shocked. No, 40 out of like 400 people hit me up. And I realized I had a problem with cutting myself too thin. I made myself available and friends with a lot of people that were only in my life for very particular things. So when I grew out of that, so did they. If I'm not partying anymore, there goes half my list of people that would only call me, because you'll find that a lot of times people love you when you do what they want you to do. And the same thing's in FragCom. Maybe these guys provided you something, comedy or quick tips or top fives or whatever, and then when they started becoming something else, you realized you only loved them for that one thing. And since they don't provide that anymore, they're gone. But that doesn't really mean they sold out or changed. or were less genuine, it just meant you only liked them for something very particular. You didn't really like them entirely, and that's cool. And I imagine the same thing will happen with my channel. As it grows and I start innovating and creating new things, there's going to be people that go, SB, I loved it back when you had 100 subs and you scratched my back and you washed my feet and you played with my toes. And I'm going to be like, yo, sorry, bro, I'm married. I got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be what it is. I think that the thing that I do differently now that will never change is I'm older. I have a background in the arts and entertainment and in public speaking. So I naturally think about maximizing value and creativity in the fragrance space. So if you look at my channel, imagine if I had 500,000 people following me right now. I do game shows, I do collabs, I review a new fragrance every single day, and I drop 3 to 5 pieces of content every day. At least 1 piece of content every day for the whole week. That is more than like 95% of all fragrance channels. So I just have a much higher volume than most people, and I'm doing much different content. Like a lot of people might collab and do stuff. I'm doing all of it. The game shows, the collabs, the creativity, the themes. I make all my own music, all the intros you hear for my channel. I'm a hip hop artist. I'm an engineer. I make my own music. So I'm one of the only people in FragCom just doing really modern sounding fragrance music. I do sound effects. I have a background in gaming. So my videos are one take, no scripts, with special effects and stuff. And I can do that because I have the expertise. I'm just bringing a lot to the space. So there's a lot of things that make me different. So I truly believe that as the channel grows, I'll always have something for everybody. But I assure you, you know, I'm not for everybody. I'm just looking for my audience. I'm not looking for the world. Okay, let's move up. I found you through Chris Siage a couple months ago, and I love your game show type content. Thank you, brother. We're going to be doing more. Scent of the day, Thomas Kamal Star Chaser. Nice. Oh, yeah, I know I'll reach 2K by the end of the week. I'm going crazy. I'm dropping three videos a day. Would say longevity isn't much of an issue, except one of my recent buys is projecting beast, but after 30 minutes to an hour, it's a skin scent, and then after 3 to 4 hours, it's gone. Bring that travel spray. I think I subbed around 1,600 subs, so I'm not an OG, but I still love your content. Hey, listen, man. If you're a sub to my channel right now, you are an OG. 200 subs is nothing. I'm a drop of water. This probably sounds dumb, but I'm interviewing a Chick-fil-A next week. What frag should... Oh, you're interviewing at Chick-fil-A. What frag should you wear? I'm going to be honest. Don't smell like food. Stay away from gourmands. Stay away from sweets. You want to cut through the food. So I would be... Oh. I mean, Ocean... Jig is 14 years old. So this is too big for you. Go right here, buddy. Mont Blanc Star Walker. If you don't have Star Walker, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, Versace Pour Homme, Coach Open Road, CK Everyone, any of those fragrances, Invictus Aqua, Risasi Hawass, Gucci Guilty Elixir, Banana Republic Arctic Slate. Any of those fragrances will cut through all that chicken. You don't want to be loud. You just want to smell like you groom yourself. How do I enter the giveaway? Wait till next week. This weekend, I'll put a video up. Just make sure your notifications are turned on. I will not be dropping a short. I will not be going live. I will simply post a video called 2K Giveaway. So if you're not looking at my new videos that come out every single day, you will not know. And I did that intentionally because I specifically want the people who watch my channel the most to win. But even if you don't watch my channel a lot, turn on the notifications so you can see my main videos. I'm telling you, my videos get an average of 50 to like 300 views. So not that many people are going to enter this contest despite me being at 2K, unless word travels like wildfire that I'm giving away fragrances to 10 people. So my last giveaway had like 20, 25 people. I imagine this giveaway, there's probably going to be 50. You still have a 20 to 40% chance of winning. We have 10 winners. And I'm giving away bangers, guys. I'm giving away straight bangers. This is no crud. We're giving away sealed boxes. Thank you for answering that for him, Dan. What's your thoughts on the Confessions of a Rebel line? I have no experience with it. Good grief. What do you rate my collection? Ocean, I wouldn't call that a collection. If you can type your collection to me in chat, you don't have a collection yet. You have some good fragrances, though. And don't worry about building your collection. Just worry about building your collection authentically. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's true to you, I love it. Favorite Javoy you've tried so far? I've tried all of them. And unfortunately, I can't give that away because I've power ranked Javoy. So out of the 16 fragrances from Javoy, I've ranked them in order of best to worst. And so you'll have to stay tuned for that video. I have a power ranking video. What I will say is they are all fire. There was no trash in this set, which is like, it's crazy to even say that out loud. The most famous fragrances from that line, though, that people talk the most about is Fire at Will, Psychedelique, and Incident Diplomatique. But I assure you there are other fragrances just as good, if not better. The sample set is Javoy. You can get it. What I highly recommend, guys, is it's expensive, guys. I'm not going to lie. But in my entire fragrance journey, this is the best sample set I've ever come across. And you guys know me. I have thousands of fragrances that have hit this nose in the last 6 months. What's amazing about it is if you go to Lucky Scent and get it, it's like $65. You get 16 2mls, and the 2mls you can wear for legitimately like 2-3 days worth of wearing. So you could try the fragrances and then wear them for 2 to 3 days on a 2ml. Easy, right? High quality, such high quality. It's sick. They all punch above the $200 price point. No questions asked. And then if you order on Lucky Scent for $65, I think they give you 5 or 6 free decants, and you get to choose them. So in the instructions column, after you order the sample set, you can type any of the fragrances they carry that you want. So in addition to 16 2mls for $65, I got some Born to Stand Out fragrances that I handpicked, and they provided them for me. Do I have the receipt? Hold on. I am not sponsored. I am not sponsored. Let me just say that. Nobody sponsors me. Nobody sends me fragrances. But that won't be for long. I guarantee you that's going to change. But I ain't selling out or capping. I'm only speaking facts. I don't push trash. But this was my order. Okay? Let me fold this so you guys can't see my address. So, right here. So, in addition to that Javoy sample set, this is what I asked for. I asked for Imaginary Authors, Born to Stand Out, Amouage, Nishane, and Nishane. Now look, I just asked for these. And I put a couple extras on here in case they didn't have certain ones. And they went through their whole collection, and look, he even wrote out of stock at the moment with a sad face. Right? So these guys actually went through their whole inventory, and they gave me Thousand Silent Ways, Ani, Dirty Heaven, Filthy Musk, and Slow Explosions. I special requested those. Those were fragrances I've been wanting to get my nose on, and they gave them to me with my sample set for free. So that's incredible. They gave me 5 niche fragrances with 16 2mls for 65 bucks. Guys, I promise you that is a steal. Can I get an amen in the chat? Can I get hearts in the chat? Can I get 100s in the chat? Thumbs ups in the chat? That is a phenomenal deal, especially for the best sample kit I have ever put my nose to. Aaron Terrence Hughes' sample set is Extreme Fire. There wasn't one in the set I didn't like. Okay. I don't think... the thing is Aaron's fragrances are very hard to access. Love the content. Keep it up. Thank you, Trey. Hey, man, that's a good mouse pad. The most realistic green, fresh rose I recommend is Eau Rose Eau de Parfum by Diptyque or Diptyque. I'm really trying to get a discovery set from Diptyque because they carry some straight fire. And I want to review the entire set and do a power ranking because I know no one's done it yet outside of maybe Sebastian. But I think I can do a better power ranking. Just better in terms of being more informative. Altair 70 and under non-humid. Yeah, agreed, Kicks. That's the only one I haven't smelled. Usually I don't like tobacco. Fair enough. Do you think any oud would work for me? Not for a 14-year-old, to be honest with you. You'd have to mess with synthetic oud, and in that category, still a lot won't work for you. Can't speak for GenSense, but TLTG is a personal friend of mine, and I can vouch and say he's a great friend like SB. Shout out to all the creators. Absolutely. Like I said, man, I have my eye on a lot of people, and I know all the top people. Not know them personally, but I watch them all, right? I haven't come across anybody who I feel like is disingenuine. There's people who I don't connect with on a personal level, so I might not watch their content either because I don't prefer how they speak about fragrances or the content that they choose to do. But I've yet to come across somebody who I'm like, that is the fakest person of all time. I'm sure they're out there, but maybe I just gravitate towards the real ones. Maybe. But I've rarely come across, even like I said, again, GenSense, you know, he might be, you know, I don't want to say corny. He might be fun, up-tempo, hitting more of a young demographic, whatever. I still don't think he's disingenuine. I think he's completely genuine. And if you've been following his fragrance channel, nothing's really changed but the money. You know, the tax bracket changed, but he's been pretty much the same guy. Did he up his yippity-yayness? Yeah, but he's speaking to 500,000 people. Of course he's not going to be sitting there with this freaking 99-cent Sally's hair gel with his bad camera sitting in the corner being all analytical. He's talking to 500,000 people. So I think his format makes all the sense in the world. You know, everybody's got their spin. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like I said, there's not many people who I feel like are not genuine. Everybody's genuine. It's just everybody's so different. You know what I'm saying? Like TLTG is different. GenSense is different. Kuba is different. EQ is different. Chaos is different. That's what's great about it. I mean, all these guys are like comic book characters. They all have a different little, you want the buff guy that works out? You got it. You want the corny guy? You got it. You want the young kid who talks like he's 20, 30 years older than himself? You got it. You want the smooth black guy? You got it. You want the OG smooth guy? You got it. You want the ethnic twist? You got it. Like there's literally something for everybody. I mean, hey, listen, Dizzy, I don't think talking about creatives is taboo because we ain't hating over here. You know, I don't mind talking about creatives in any space because I don't come with hate. I don't criticize. I don't say somebody's whack or trash. I want to see everybody win. And so when I talk about differences, you can tell it's not to downplay any channels. It's to give everybody, paint everybody in an awesome light. So no, we're definitely going to talk about creators on my channel. Not that deeply, because it really ain't that deep, but we're not going to bring negativity into FragCom, but because I'm not bringing negativity into FragCom, we'll absolutely talk about creators if it's relevant content. Have you tried Gucci Guilty Love Edition? I'm not a fan. I'm really liking Gucci Guilty Elixir right now. What up, Bubble? I come into the chat washing feet. Beautiful. I'm doing amazing. Hey, listen, famous. We need to do some stuff, man. SB needs the golden ticket. I need to come to the factory. I want to see the elves. I want to see where the chocolate's made. I want to lick the wallpaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm a nobody, man. I make a lot of noise to a small few. And, I'm trying to innovate in the space, but I'm just trying to have good conversations, man. So, listen, you want some... You need a bald guy. That's just what it comes down to. You need a young bald guy up in the space of black descent, and that's just how it needs to be. So when you find a golden ticket for me, man, let me slide through. Would you ever collab with Neeb from Aromatics? I would collab with anybody. And here's my thing, guys. Anybody watching this stream will tell you, SB doesn't reach up. I reach out. Like, anybody who I've ever connected with from the fragrance community is either the same size as me or smaller. I do that intentionally. Why? Because I'm a nobody. I do my thing, and I want to build relationships with people in the same position because there's no incentive. I don't need anything from anybody else, so I can genuinely just look for people I genuinely connect with. I don't need anybody to grow. I'm gonna grow. I know what YouTube likes. I bring value to the community. I work my face off to be different and unique, and I'm constantly elevating my platform. It's gonna grow. I don't care about the speed. I don't need the channel. I don't need the money. This is a passion project, but I know how to grow a YouTube channel. I have plenty of YouTube channels that are doing swell. So that puts me in a position to just focus on building real relationships with people. So I love the idea of making my own peer group. Rather than me trying to connect with people who are already established, I like to connect with hungry, educated, unique individuals that are in the arena of the size of audience that I work with, and connect and see how the camaraderie looks and become friends. And anyone on my stream will tell you, when I build relationships with people, it's always give, give, give. Yo, I support what you're doing. You need help with anything? Let me know. I don't ask for anything. My first contact with somebody I'm connecting with is always give, give, give. You need this. People will tell you in this stream, I pick random people online and I send them fragrances. A lot of people that sub to me will tell you that, yo, SB just randomly hit me up one day and said, oh, you haven't tried some Amouage? And then he shipped it to me randomly. A guy didn't even know who I was. I just connected with Kix. Me and Kix been homies now for, I think, a couple months now. I drove out to LA to go see Kix. I'm just like that. Anybody that my people who I follow and I connect with, I'm from the mud with it. There's nothing, and mind you, through that method of just like, I'm here to support, and I proactively reach out into the world and find people that I can support and get behind, it comes back tenfold. I've met some incredible people. I have moderators that work for free. It's incredible. I'm blessed. I have friends. Shout outs to Kick. Shout outs to Gator. I have tons of friends who have connected with me and sent me fragrances and have jumped on the phone with me. But I strongly believe that that's because when I put myself out into the world, I genuinely am trying to build relationships with people for no incentive at all other than to just be of service. And then people come into my life and do the same. And it's a beautiful revolving door that's like organic relationships being built. And there's no incentive because we're all nobodies. We're all nobodies. And I like building that community more than reaching up to people who are already established. There's too many politics reaching up. Reaching out is way easier. My artist name is Conscience. If you go to my YouTube page for Scent Bubble, it'll say on the community page, hey, by the way, I make music. Just click that link. You can find me on any distribution platform. Spotify, Apple, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Goon in a bottle. Okay, never heard of it. Looking for my audience, not the world, is a great mantra for any artist. There you go. Some people in the chat don't know about your beatbox. That's true. Bad Boy Le Parfum smells like some ganj. Really? I think that's the least cannabis smelling fragrance out of all of them. It's got cannabis in it, but I don't know. Maybe you smell some different cannabis. I'm trying to get my fragrances to where I can't type it. That's hilarious. What do you think? Dior Sauvage. So true. Build your collection authentically as opposed to buying scents just for the sake of making a purchase. Hey, listen. I'm going on a niche buying spree right now. I am so much stricter on niche fragrances than I am designers. So much stricter because you get into this weird thing where you got these niche creatives that start getting weird. It's like the Three Little Pigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got guys that go into niche and just get overly creative and they don't even think about the practicality of the fragrance. They're just chasing after something they fantasized about in their bed. Then you got these niche designers that literally just clone stuff that's already out. And those are the extremes I get when I smell niche fragrances. I'm looking for the sweet spot, the guy who's trying to innovate and elevate with an original creation, but is also trying to make something that has practicality. Seasonless, gentlemanly, date night, natural, alluring, you know what I mean? Playing with space, you know? That's why I think Javoy has the best sample set. And you'll find in the niche market is no different than the designer market. It's the same way. People making stuff that's not practical or people just replicating mass appealing fragrances. It's like DJs. Every club you go to, a DJ's playing a top 50. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not a DJ. But, you know, I digress. What's your thoughts on MFK Oud Satin Mood? I love it, but I love Oud Silk Mood more. I'm just waiting to go post office sometime, and my decants are on its way. Will be on its way to you. Hey, that's okay, Jigga, and I appreciate you sending it. Oud Satin Mood is one of the best oud rose scents out there. It's very sweet, and the oud is in the back, but very smooth, dressy scent. Dan, you need to try Ormond Jane's Taif. T-A-I-F, I think. Amen, amen, amen. Aaron teamed up with Max Aroma, but you have to be on there when they drop. That makes sense. Holy crap, where can you get the 16 2mls for 65? Lucky Scent. Hey, man, I'm sorry, Dizzy. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Ash from Gent Sense is a really nice guy. I met him a few times, and he's just like he is on his channel. Kuba is also cool and genuine. Pretty new to SB, but you are putting out fire. Appreciate you, Nick. Thank you. No one is saying anything bad about any creator. We're just bringing them up in conversation. Everyone relax. Yeah, that's what I don't even know what the hype is about. Y'all could tell SB is being extremely genuine, so stop putting words in other people's mouths. Agreed. Can you give your thoughts on Kayali. I haven't tried that fragrance if it is one. Fax SB, appreciate you kicks. Yo SB, what should my first niche be? Something from Mancera. Well, Ocean, for how young you are, go Mancera Instant Crush, buddy. You'll love it. Budget, I don't know. SB preaching facts right now. Appreciate you. Yo, recommend me a perfume. Kate, what do you like? Let's start there. How old are you? What do you like? Oud Satin Mood reminds me too much of Old Lady. Definitely smooth though. I just try Oud Silk Mood, Charles. Much different vibe. It's Oud and Rose, but reversed. Leads in Oud. Rose in the back. Way more masculine. Montal or Mancera are good entry-level niche. I'm not a fan of Montal at all. But a lot of people absolutely love it. I tried the Arabian's Tonka a week and a half ago. I don't know what the hype is about. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Montal. I'm not a fan of the juice. I'm not a fan of the bottle presentation. Nothing. It just feels cheap. Mancera, though, I love it. 120. You really can't beat what Mancera does. Mancera gives you tons of variety at tons of different brackets, at tons of different practicalities. And you get 120 ml of juice. And it's simplicity, right? Pressurized atomizers, magnetic caps, simple glass, luxurious kind of Chanel feel, right? Simple labeling. They're not trying to be innovative. They might change the glass on you or whatever, but nice, very simplistic, minimalistic kind of Apple experience. And their fragrances just punch. Beautiful atomizers and sprays. Great performance on just about everything they have. And they just have banger after banger after banger. And what's beautiful is even though they're priced around the 150-ish price point, any discounter sells them at about, their most popular ones sell around the 100 price point. Their secondary fragrances sell around the 70 price point. So you can get them for cheaper than designer fragrances, and you get 120 ml of juice. So you can really just go nuclear with the sprays and have fun with the fragrance. I mean, can you really compete with that? No, you can't. Banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. Pearl, Jardin Exclusive, Arabian Wind, More Cafe, Instant Crush, Vetiver Sensual. I mean, it's just freaking endless. Aqua Wood. I'm not a big fan of Hindu Kush, but it's decent. You know, Tonka Cola. Cedrop Rosé. I mean, they just got banger after banger. Lemon Oud Mint. Like, they just banger after banger after banger. When should I wear YSL myself? Never. You have the original Allure. No. My dad really likes Creed Himalaya. Anything to recommend for him that would be the same DNA? Well, to be honest, Ocean, if he likes Himalaya, you really don't want to get him a fragrance that's like Himalaya because he loves it. You know? It's like if I love cheeseburgers, you're going to be like, yo, try this cheeseburger with pickles. I'm going to be like, no, I like cheeseburgers. You should get something different for him. Oud Satin Mood Extrait is top tier. I don't know if I could handle an extrait of Oud Satin Mood. I'm going to be honest with you. I just love the Al Harmain Amber Oud. Oh, yeah, I forgot Amberful as well. Amberful's a banger, too. It is heavy on the ambroxan, sometimes synthetic, but the price and longevity is just incredible to me. Dubai Nights is too good. Agreed. A niche fragrance means a fragrance that has been made for a specific niche. However, it's interesting how the frag community interprets niche fragrances as anything that is by a non-designer house. That's not true. That's not necessarily true. Well, my phone has a beautiful definition of niche. Niche has characteristics, you know, limited quantity, sold in limited locations, typically, but not always, seeks to use the best materials, more limited materials or more high-end materials, tends to be more innovative and creative. But that's not always the case. And therefore, you have designer fragrances that kind of punch niche level in different facets, like in complexity and layering and creativity. There are certain kind of fundamental things to niche fragrances. Like, I'll give you a lot of people don't understand this, but this is a niche fragrance. If we're just using the raw paper definition of niche, this is a niche fragrance. Why? This is Lattafa's Teriyaki Intense. Lattafa, Clone House. But this is one of their first self-made fragrances. This is a Lattafa original. It's made by a niche perfumer, Quentin Biche, solely responsible for this juice. Limited quantity, made by a niche perfumer. Limited storehouse. On paper, this is niche. It's not a clone. But no one would ever call it that. They'd call it a clone. So, because niche has different categories of definition, it can share definition with fragrances that aren't in it, but I don't think it matters what is niche and what's not niche. I think what matters is what parts of the components you're talking about, because context matters. As for Mancera, Precious Oud is nice, Sicily is fire, Jardin Exclusive fire. Yes, yes, and yes. Yo, guys, you could trust SB's never steered me wrong the way on any frag. That's a fact. Appreciate the kind words. Thoughts on Arabian's Tonka? I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. I tried it last week. I was in the scent room in LA, and I tried several fragrances, and Arabian's Tonka was one of them, and I was not a fan. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think it's worth the money. Till date, my favorite Oud rose is Lancome Oud Bouquet. I haven't tried that yet. I don't have any Montal either. I was just thinking I need one in my collection. I think Mancera actually kills Montal. I'm gonna be straight facts with you guys. That's just my opinion. Cheaper, more juice, more versatility. SB and I were just talking about this one last live. What's the Himalayan? I don't know exactly what your question is. Oh, dupe that's better. I don't have one, to be honest with you. Magnetic caps and pressurized atomizers. Now I definitely need Instant Crush. Dude, simple design. And I love it. Because of this simple design, they can spend more time on the juice and give you more. Can you really compete with the fact that I paid $70 for 120 ml of premium juice with a pressurized addy, 10 plus hours of longevity, with a great presentation? God, Vetiver Sensual is so good. Oh my gosh. You really, Mancera is doing it right. I wouldn't tell you Mancera makes the best fragrances. They don't. But they make incredible fragrances that you will wear a lot. Anyone who has Mancera fragrances wears them a lot. And that's what it comes down to. You don't have to break the blibbity blankety blank. You can spend $70 to $100 and get juice that you can use for years. That's niche quality. That's incredible. That's not the case for like more than 80% of the niche houses, in my opinion. And I smell niche fragrances every week in abundance. You can get Mancera at Marshalls and TJ Maxx too. Very rarely, but you can. You can get Creed and Roja even very circumstantially, but that's almost never the case. There's certain TJ Maxx and Marshalls where one will float on the shelf, but you're not really getting that much of a discount. You're getting a discount compared to retailers. You should still always buy niche fragrances online because the online price will blow out the TJ Maxx and Marshall's price. I have tons of experience with this. It'll be quite a discount from the retailer, but it still never touches the online price. Yeah, the lemon one is nice. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When it comes to lemon, though, nothing's touching Oolong Cha. Nothing's touching Montclair La Corday. I just did it. I just added another combo to my book. So for Easter, I wore Montclair's La Corday, which is basically like honey lemon tea, right? And I mixed Lin Sumi, which is basically like a Dior's Eau Sauvage Green Blast, but more modern. I call this the best office fragrance ever made. Young people stay away from this. This is a 25 and up fragrance. So a green, earthy pine blast over honey lemon tea. So it's like imagine going up to a lemon tree and I cut all the lemons in half. So now you have these half lemon slices dripping lemon juice on the ground. And then you have the halves of the lemons just soaking up into the earth. And you just smell earthy, green leaf, juicy lemons. It's the best smell ever. That combo is insane, and that's going in my book. That's another thing I'm doing right now that channels aren't doing. I'm making ebooks. Hey bro, tested out Mont Blanc Explorer and fell in love with it, but the reviews say Club de Nuit performs better. Brass, this is the only fragrance you need to get, buddy. $40. I know spending 20 to 30 bucks sounds amazing to you, but if you really want Aventus Absolute DNA with incredible longevity and you want the best one, it is this one. Off Note Supremacy Collector's Edition is just as incredible, but it is less Aventus Absolute and more of a hybrid between Aventus Absolute and Nishane Hasavat, way more oak moss, different kind of pineapple entirely than this. This is your classic kind of midway between Absolute's pineapple and Versace Eros Energy pineapple, more mass appealing, but both of these get an equal level of compliments. But this is the fragrance you need to get. Forget all of the Club de Nuit Intense Man. I have all of them. They're all very good, but they don't hold a candle to this one right here. Spend the $40, get an incredible fragrance you'll wear every single day, and thank me later. Okay, have you tried Parfum de Marly Nissia? No, that's the only Parfums de Marly I haven't tried, Casper. I hear a lot about Mancera French Riviera too. All of Mancera is good. When should I wear myself? Never. Yeah, never. Best YSL fragrances in order. YSL L'Homme. YSL La Nuit de l'Homme. Tuxedo, Baby Cat, YSL Y, and then YSL Myself. Myself is a great fragrance, but it is the worst of the collection. Killian's Angel Share worth it? No. This is worth it. Amir Paris Corner, Fire Your Desire. 10 out of 10 clone of Angel Share. Same amount of performance, somewhere north of 8 hours. All the other clones of Angel Share don't have the cognac note. I'm talking about French Avenue's Nero and French Avenue Nero, whatever. There's 2 Neros. And then there's a couple other Angel Share knockoffs that suck. This is the best one. 20, 25 bucks. Angel Share is a masterpiece, but you don't need to spend Angel Share masterpiece money. Have you heard of... And I mean, here's the thing. If you've smelled a lot of niche fragrances, Angel Share is a great fragrance. It's not an amazing fragrance. If you don't have a lot of niche experience, like you've only put your nose to less than 100 niche fragrances, Angel Share seems like, oh my gosh. But the more you smell other sweet fragrances in the niche category, the more Angel Share is a great, again, great, solid, nice romantic fragrance. Love the cognac in it. But you don't have to spend Angel Share money. There's incredible Angel Share clones I just think this one's the best. And Angel Share is also not a fragrance that is like a like if you look in most people's panty droppers lists, Angel Share will not be in it. Why? Because it's a unisex fragrance. Angel Share is an incredible, sexy date night fall winter fragrance. But in the hierarchy of sexy, seductive, sweet DNAs, it rarely makes top fives. And I strongly think that it's because people are over it. I know that's harsh to say. I love this and I wear it all the time. But most people are into other vanillic DNAs that outclass it. So for me, I'm going with the clone. I don't need original Angel Share. But a lot of people disagree with me, and I'm okay with that. I'm not the Lord of Fragrance. I agree with that, Dan. Mod Quick, good job. Latafa Teriyaki for men. Describe the smell. Don't get Teriyaki Original. Teriyaki Intense is a significant upgrade. This is I want to bring the note breakdown, but it's a cinnamon blast. It is a masculine, ambery, sweet blast of heavy dose of cinnamon, vanillic, a little bit resinous, mostly cinnamon and vanillic. Light on the vanillic, heavy on the cinnamon, heavy on the amber. Yeah, it's just like a cinnamon masculine seduction fragrance. Think of Angel Share, but instead of going praline and vanilla, they went cinnamon. And you would think that that's bad. Some people don't like it because it is heavy and cinnamon. I think it's actually like the maceration on this is becoming better and better and better and better. It's a solid fragrance. If you have Angel Share or anything like Angel Share, this would be quite redundant. But if you're a collector, it's totally worth getting your nose on. I definitely wear it. I mean, it's beast mode. 12 hours plus in a smooth way. Quentin Beach puts out a lot of fire from different companies. Bois Imperial is my stuff. Absolutely. Me too. Love me some Bois Imperial. Why do you think there's such a contrast between Montal and Mancera for you? Keeping in mind the founder of both brands is the same person. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of... So first and foremost, let's get this straight. Montal makes great fragrances. But number one, I like Mancera's fragrances better. I think they have a bigger bag, like the versatility. If I took 20 Manceras, I don't even think there's 20 Montal. There probably is, but from a marketing standpoint, you don't hear about 20 Montals. But the versatility in Mancera is way greater. You get more juice. The bottle presentation is 100% better. Feels much less tinkery and cheap and tinkery. And they have more consistent bangers that are more mass appealing. Montal has great fragrances, just not as much. And the other factor is about the juice in the bottle. So again, as far as buying a Montal fragrance, I don't really think Montal can hold a candle to Mancera. Individual fragrances can, but as a house, you give me your top 20 Montals and put them against your top 20 Manceras, and I think they blow them out of the water. Hypothesis, though. Don't shoot me. Where do you get it for $70? I think I got Vetiver Sensual on fragrancebuy.ca for $70. I turned 30 this year in August, so I'm thinking of treating myself to either Dior Oud or Ombre Nomad. Really can't decide. Might just get Ombre Nomad. I will say this. Do not get Ombre Nomad unless you've put your nose to it. Because if you're familiar with anything from the LV line, Ombre Nomad is a significant shift from what LV is known for. So when you talk about citrus and aquatics and exotic fruits and stuff, that's kind of their wheelhouse. The perfumer from that house is the same perfumer. Well, they work with multiple perfumers, but the main perfumer behind a lot of those fragrances comes from Issey Miyake. So their bread and butter is citrus aquatics and exotics and beachy type stuff. So Ombre Nomad is a significant deviation from that. So try it before you buy it. It's a great fragrance. It's a popular fragrance, nowhere near as popular as Meteor, Imagination, L'Immensité, Pacific Chill, all that stuff. But if you're familiar with it and you love it, I would get that over the other one. What fragrance should I get for prom? Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privé. Kajara Lamal. It is a great fragrance. Are you giving away Hawass? I am. So guys, and I think my Hawass is full. You know, I've got a lot of stuff I'm giving away, guys, but here's just a couple of them. I got a full bottle of Hawass. I got a full bottle of 9 p.m. I got a full bottle of L'Immensité clone, 120 ml of juice. I got a full bottle of Assad. I got a full bottle of Pegasus. Got some Tom Ford stuff. And then I got a bunch of Decants, and I've got a bunch more I'm giving away too. I've got some Valentino. I got a bunch of like 10 mLs of just random stuff. We got, 150 ml of Linen Vetiver. There's a lot of stuff, man. And then Kix is donating a 60 ml of, what did he say he was giving away? He's throwing some kind of heat in there. I forget. Angel Share is a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece, actually. And Ventus is a masterpiece, too. Yeah, no, Angel Share is incredible. It's just, if you're a grown man, grown men own Angel Share, but they don't wear it nearly as much as more earthy and more masculine fragrances. Angel Share is perfectly unisex, and the only thing that keeps it perfectly unisex is the cognac. Without the cognac, it is an extremely feminine fragrance. So the saving grace on Angel Share is the cognac. That's what still allows you to feel like you keep your manhood. However, you'll notice that Angel Share is mostly worn by people 30 years old and down. When you start to go 30 and up, in the vanillic category, you start seeing dudes evolve and go into things like Grand Soir and psychedelic and all this other stuff because they want more masculine edge. Their unisex fragrances are not as much in the date night realm as they are upscale casual and semi-formal non-romantic events. And again, I'm not the Lord of Fragrance. I'm just telling you the psychology behind it. Thoughts on Sauvage Eau Forte? I don't have any experience with it. My Self-Lait Parfum, is it worth it? No, absolutely not. Every other fragrance in YSL is better. Absolutely, Jigga. Take care, buddy. Where can I read your ebooks? Soon. They'll be coming out soon, and you'll be able to buy them anywhere, and they're very cheap. Thoughts on Spectre Wraith? Excellent fragrance. I know it's summer, but what should I buy? What should my first winter fragrance be? Any fragrance you've been looking up? Yes, I smelled Ombre Nomad. I like Imagination Ombre Nomad, but I need to get either one. I was born in Kuwait, so I love oud scents. I say you skip both of those and get the Javoy sample set. Because one of these will be, well, more than 10 of them will be the most incredible fragrances you've ever bought. You need to get some Javoy in your life, buddy. You strike me as somebody who would absolutely love the sample set and eventually buy a couple of bottles from them, and no one will smell like you. Just a thought. Best thing you put your nose to today was my Vetiver Sensual. It's the only thing I put my nose to. I recommend smelling Tom Ford Oud Mineral. I don't know why, but I can't stop wearing that one. Oud Mineral is really nice. I'm not hating on Oud Mineral. Valentino Uomo Intense is very nice. I think Angel Share has a time and a place. You have to wear it with a suit in the right setting for me. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good night, Dizzy. Hi from Russia. Hi from Arizona. Grand Soir is still my favorite boozy amber vanilla, though. even more than Angel Share. Absolutely. Grand Soir is better. But you want to know something that is better than both of those to me right now? Let's see if we can find it. So this is day 3. And which fragrance is it? Where are you? Right here. This fragrance right here is better than both of those to me right now. Ambar Dominicano from day 3. Absolutely sexy, man. Oh my gosh. Getting a bottle of this currently. You want to talk about ambers? You want to talk about spicy amber vanillas? Oh my gosh, bro. Yo, dude. In the wheelhouse of Angel Share and Grand Soir, but spicier, way more amber. The vanilla is not the leading note. The vanilla is the secondary or tertiary note. It leads in amber and like warm, hot spice, like a gasoline match was thrown on it without the gasoline smell, just the fiery, red hot smell. Amber forward, vanilla sitting in the back. The raw materials are perfection. I mean, it's just like, you feel like you can bag any woman on the planet with this fragrance. My wife wears Angel Share. Honestly, it smells better on her than it ever did on me. That's because it's so vanilla forward. I love Grand Soir, but the reality is that it is a heavy vanillic fragrance. There's not enough chest hair on Grand Soir. I wear it anyway because I love the smell, but I think Grand Soir should smell better on a woman than a man. But you want to smell Grand Soir in reverse? Try Ambar Dominicano. This fragrance is chest hair, it's cojones, but Grand Soir-esque, but way better, way more masculine. Oh my gosh, fragrance is so freaking good. What are your thoughts on Effing Fabulous by Tom Ford? It's a good fragrance. It's for 25-year-olds and under, though. Smells like a rich kid just got into the club. You know, he's driving a little Mustang or a little, entry-level Audi or a Dodge Charger. He's 21. He's going into the club. He's wearing Effing Fabulous. What do you think about the Joe Milano line? It's good, but a lot of stuff's lackluster performance. You really need to put your nose on everything and figure out what you like. I think if you like anything from Joe Milano, you need to upgrade to Chanel exclusive line. A great boozy amber performs great to Empire Ombre Rouge. Your favorite harmonist? I don't have a lot of experience with harmoniste. I think I'm gonna go to bed. Get to bed, dude. Good to see you though. Speaking of Grand Soir, it's my favorite MFK in general. I like it more than Absolute. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think one of the biggest sleepers in MFK right now is Oud Silk Mood. Oud Silk Mood. I think that's one of the biggest sleeper fragrances right now in MFK. Everybody goes to Oud Satin Mood. Everybody goes to Amarist. Everybody goes to Grand Soir. Put on Oud Silk Mood. If you're a man, 25 and up. If you're a man, try Oud Silk Mood and tell me that's not one of the most signature, unique scents that nobody else smells like. God, that Ambar Dominicano is sexy. Dan, dude, when you get that Javoy set, make sure when you're ordering it, find 5 fragrances you've always been wanting to smell that's on the Lucky Scent site and type them into the special instructions. So that way they send those to you with your sample set. If you're going to spend the $65 for the set, you might as well get the additional 4 or 5 free samples. They carry every house. Make sure you do that. Otherwise, they're going to send you 5 random samples. Get samples that you want, buddy. But you are going to please come back to this channel. I don't care if you have to DM me or send me an email at scentbubblesubmit@gmail.com or just meet me back in a live. I'm dying to know what you think about the Javoy set, because everybody I've showed the Javoy sample set agrees that it's one of the best sample sets that's out, period. It's a class above most niche houses, period. Just such a joy to smell those. Smelling that house reminded me of why I got into fragrance, just the world of excellence. I mean, you're just gonna sit in your room like a kid and just be like, what? Am I even worthy of wearing a fragrance like this? I'm going on a date with an Arabic girl. Do you think she'll like me wearing an oud fragrance? No, absolutely not. If she's an Arabic girl who's in America, she is not into ouds just because she's Arabic. Keep it safe, bro. I want to get Diptyque's Oud Dwell EDP. It's a spicy, syrupy, cypriol vanilla. I need you to smell that one too. Trust me, you'll love that one. I'll take a screenshot of it. I'm taking it down. SB, talk to you soon. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate you, buddy. MFK Masculine Pluriel is a sleeper as well. I'll add that to the collection this week. Silk Mood, Extrait or EDP? I would go EDP. I think Extrait's a bit too much, because this is real oud. It has a funk to it. Not a stinky funk. It just has a very, almost like an ozonic, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think you should go Extrait with it. I think EDP is still a 10-hour plus fragrance. Super masculine. Just puts you in a different type of headspace, man. It's different. It's different, dude. But so masculine. I think you go the Extrait, you kind of blow your nostrils out. I like Oud Silk Mood. It's just that the oud is a little too animalic for me. Comes off a little horsey. Horsey is crazy. Yeah, I mean, see, here's the thing. Most people don't mess with real oud, so they don't know what oud's supposed to do. Oud is supposed to be funky, and I'm gonna sit down for this because my legs are hurting. One sec, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Let me bring this down a little bit. So, dang, it's already 10 o'clock. Okay, so, yeah, the thing. Okay, guys, let me know if my microphone's still working. The thing with ouds is most people have not had real oud, or they've messed with real ouds, but they're safe ouds that are less than 5% of a fragrance. You know, Initio's oud for greatness, oud satin mood. Those are not oud fragrances. They are, but they aren't. They play it super conservative and safe. Oud Silk Mood starts to try to go into the funk realm, and I think they did it safely. But if you're somebody who has no experience with real ouds, it could definitely be animalic. But I don't think most people describe oud correctly. You know, we say things like funk, stink, animalic. I've heard horse before. That's not a new term to me. I find the older I get, the more intrigued by oud I am, but it's one of those things like this. The first time I ever tried Oud Silk Mood, I did not understand it at all, and I hated it. Then I wore Aquamedia, Grand Soir, Amorous, Amorous Extrait, Oud Satin Mood, and once I was done with all of those, like a year later, I came back to Oud Silk Mood, and I was like, yo, wait a second. I didn't smell it on a test strip. I put it on my skin, and it just did something to me, man. It provided something to me that not a lot, no other fragrance in my collection does for me what Oud Silk Mood does. But I can understand for somebody who's used to wearing office scents, fresh citrus scents, oud and safe oud and rose combinations and stuff like that, green fragrances, shower, stuff like that. I can see how that fragrance could be off-putting at first. But dude, there's not much else to say about it. It's just it's still entry level to it's a entry level real oud fragrance. So if you're off put by that, then you got to almost just stay away from oud period, because it's quite tame and it's quite entry level to like real oud fragrances. You got to stay away from anything from Boudicca the Victorious. You got to stay away from Electimus. You got to stay away from Essential Parfums, you know. Do you have a code for Javoy that I can use? I want them to know you sent me there. I don't. I'm not endorsed by anybody, man. I'm a regular Joe Schmo. People try to hook me up. I was quite flattered to go to the Ex Nihilo boutique in LA recently, and they shut the store down and gave us a private tour of Ex Nihilo, and I brought home a lot of Ex Nihilo. And shout outs to Esteban, he set that up. But man, that was just like a treat, being treated like royalty in a boutique fragrance house, especially of an Ex Nihilo caliber. But I'm just an everyday guy, man. I don't take endorsements. I'm not sponsored. People do send me a lot of fragrances, but everybody that sends me fragrances are my subscribers. I don't receive fragrances or incentives from any house. That might change really soon, because I do have a couple of negotiations with a couple of pretty prestigious houses in LA and in Arizona. But yeah, as far as now promo codes and all that stuff, I don't carry. What up, Kale? Favorite Amouage? Amouage is a tough house. I always tell people with Amouage and Xerjoff, you have to tread with caution, because everybody has a different top five. If you look online, everyone's going to say with Xerjoff, oh, go Naxos or Herba Pura, Torino or 40 Knots. With Amouage, everyone's going to tell you Interlude or Lyric or Black Iris and all that stuff. Xerjoff and Amouage are some of the most challenging houses, and they're challenging because they're not mass appealing fragrances. By and large, in the entire house, they are fragrances that will speak to 10 people 10 different ways. For me personally, I have yet to purchase a bottle from Xerjoff and Amouage. I haven't put my nose to Amouage in about 6 months, though I love the Black Iris and the Lyric Man. Xerjoff I'm more recently familiar with. I really enjoy Herba Gold over Herba Pura, and I prefer Naxos over Renaissance, and I like 40 Knots moderately. They have a lot of other great fragrances, though, for sure. I'm not a big fan of either of the houses because they're so challenging, but they do have some special fragrances. I have French Avenue Coco Murado. It has a oud and smells so good. Nice. It also depends where the oud is from. Yeah, that could be true. Oud is such a spectrum, and a lot of people don't do it well. I've smelled pure oud oils that are thousands of dollars, and when you get into real oud as an isolate, it is extremely challenging to wear. We've got a couple Ex Nihilos coming up. I've got some. Oh, gosh dang it! I've got some Ex Nihilo Hedonist and Hedonistic Straight, Vetiver Morocco. I've got like 4 Ex Nihilos we'll be doing real soon. I don't want to do Talisman. Everyone talks about Talisman. Everyone's driven Talisman and their clones through a freaking wall. I'm tired of Talisman. I don't think it's that special. And the clones seem to be making people plenty happy. What's the one? Man, my phone's running out of power. Doze Intoxication, haven't heard of it. I got Kayala cigar at Patchouli in Dubai, and it has real oud in it, not cypriol oil, which is an oud alternate. I also visited Ajmal factory and smelled a bunch of real wood chips. Nice. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to mess with real oud. Ugh. I truly believe that oud is a fragrance note that can only be used in certain ratios. As long as it's real oud, I think the safe oud play spot is somewhere between 10 and 25%. Same thing with things like vetiver. I think vetiver's sweet spot is like 20 or 30%. And like with vetiver, I find that most people play 10% under, or they have a vetiver forward fragrance, and for that, their ratios are just off. Rose to me has a certain ratio that I like. Iris has a certain ratio that I like. Oud is one of those ratios where it's like people go 50+% or less than 5% to where it's not even in the fragrance. And I think not a lot of people have found the sweet spot ratio for oud. And that's why a lot of pure oud fragrances aren't talked about as much. But when it's done right, it's really special. Thoughts on Silver Oud by Amouage? It's pretty solid. SB, just because someone doesn't like the blend of Silk Mood doesn't mean they're a beginner or smelling oud. Trust me. Smell Dior Oud Isfahan, and let's revisit the conversation. Let me put some thought to that. Uh, Well, I think what I was speaking to was that you said, or somebody said, that Oud's Silk Mood is too animalic. And I think when it comes to animalic, funky Oud's Silk Mood is beginner level oud from a funk standpoint. There's almost no funk at all. It is entry level funk as far as the oud facet's concerned. So I wasn't really speaking to calling the reviewer of the Oud Silk Mood a beginner, but I'm saying that the oud quality in Oud Silk Mood is beginner level. There are far more fragrances that oud has way more funk carry on it than Oud Silk Mood. Oud Silk Mood is authentic oud, beginner level oud in terms of the funk. So I don't know if you misinterpreted that, but that's where I was coming from on it from my perspective. I think if you find the Oud Silk Mood to be too animalic, it automatically cancels out so many oud fragrances that are 30% plus ratio oud that you should, in essence, feel the same way about. Royal Tobacco is fire. Reflection Man is really nice. I do agree with that. It's just not my tea. Zhirjov to me is what Montal is to you. I could see that. I don't purchase Zhirjov and Amouage. I haven't found the fragrance that speaks to me yet. Take care, Kale. Good to see you, buddy. Favorite creed? The creeds I'm enjoying the most right now is obviously Aventus Absolute, Bois de Portugal. Love Bois de Portugal. Royal Oud. Love Royal Oud. The typical Millesime Imperial Irish Tweed, Silver Mountain Water, Virgin Island Water. Those are all good, but the fragrances from Creed that speak to me currently is Absolute Ventus, Bois Imperial, and Royal Oud by a landslide, at least right now. Viking's cool too. I do enjoy some Viking, but I enjoy Bois Imperial, or sorry, Bois du Portugal more than Viking. Let's see. Millesime Imperial is a great fragrance. I just think a lot of people don't uh wouldn't pay $200-300 for Millesime Imperial. There's competitive clones in the marketplace. A lot of people don't have the finances to want to spend hundreds of dollars for a freshie fragrance outside of like LV, which is crazy to say. But that might just be a marketing thing. I don't know. But I do think Millesime Imperial is a great fragrance. There's no question about it. It's just for me, the other three are my favorites right now. That's a great price. 99 is a great price. I think if more people had access or knowledge of the 50 ml concentrates, a lot more people would be buying Green Irish Tweed and Virgin Island Water and Silver Mountain Water and Millesime Imperial a lot more. But at that price point for the 100 mLs, I think more people would buy Louis V. They're going to get the Pacific Chills, the Meteors, the Imaginations, the L'Immensités, you know. We're going to get going soon, guys. I'm going to give it about another minute or two with any last minute questions, comments, or feedback. And then I'm going to get me some sleep, man. Silver Mountain Water is, I think Millesime Imperial as a freshie is cool because it has some more charm to it. It's not just a freshie, it's like a freshie with charm. It's got some allure to it. I think Silver Mountain Water leans more like truly fresh with less interesting facets, more typical facets, the citrus, the black currant, you know, the tea, the tea note. But I think from a popularity standpoint, they're both pretty equally popular in terms of what people review online. How is Dolce & Gabbana Luminous Night compared to the One? I mean, they're both equally popular. One of my favorite Dolce & Gabbanas is Light Blue Forever, which is discontinued. I just did a review on that recently. I really thought it was special. I don't know, for me, Dolce & Gabbana the One just feels dated. There's a lot of fragrances in the realm of what that does that I think are better, that are cheaper. Well, I don't want to say cheaper, equal priced. I think probably in modern day, Luminous Night is a little bit more modern. But they're both great fragrances. Thank you, Kix. I appreciate you, brother. Do you have any Riffs fragrances? I do not. I do not. It's a good fragrance, Smurf. It's a good fragrance. I've got my cue, boys. I'm gonna sign off for the night. Love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. If there was any questions I didn't answer, please put them in the comment section. I will answer it within 24 hours. Stay tuned this week. I'm dropping at minimum 3 videos a day, sometimes 4 or 5, depending on how much I get through for the workday. But guarantee I'm doing 3 videos a day. Road to 2K. We're almost there. I think we got 50 people left. And I'm excited to drop a ton of videos for you. They're all done. I don't have to record them all. I have 3 times 7. I have 21 videos already uploaded for you guys. I have 40, but 21 for sure. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to keep it going. Appreciate all the love and support and moderation tonight. Love you guys. Stay tuned for the giveaway. There will be 10 lucky winners by the end of the week. And yeah, stay blessed, guys. Peace.